Dear learner, thank you for joining Power BI project training. In this training, we will learn how to create a Power BI report on sales analysis for strategic business insights. The project revolves around the comprehensive analysis of sales data to drive actionable insights for strategic decision making within the business. In this tutorial, we will delve into a dataset containing crucial information such as sales and product details. The primary objective of this analysis is to empower businesses to optimize their operations, enhance sales performance, and maximize profitability. By leveraging Power BI, we aim to transform raw data into visualization and reports that contains clear understanding of sales trends, product performance, and comprehensive revenue, profit, and cost for the optimization of the business. To complete this project, we will be using Excel data source, which has three worksheets, approximately 10,000 rows and multiple columns. Let's understand the dataset which we are going to use to create a report. We will be using this sales data which has sales information along with some other details like order ID, when the order was made or when the product was purchased, what is the product name, how this product was sold, means it was stored in online mode or through stores it was purchased, what is the shipping status, if it's shipped, the product has been delivered, if it's online, or if it's offline mode, still if the customer has purchased the product from the store. And then finally we have some transactional values like what is the MRP, what is the unit sold, how many number of products sold, total revenue, cost of goods sold, marketing expenses. We have another sheet which has product information, what is the product name and which category they belongs to. And there is third sheet which has just continuous dates which we are going to use in our visualization. So this is our data set which we are going to use to create our insightful report in Power BI. Let's connect with this data set and let's start creating a report. To connect with the data source in Power BI, we need to select the connector first. We are going to import data from Excel, so we will click here and this will ask us where is our data. We need to select our data source. This is our data source. We can click open. Now within few seconds navigator pane will open, and from navigator pane we need to select all the sheets or tables which we want to load. These are the sheets which we want to load in Power BI. So we will select all these sheets and then we are going to transform our data. We will not select load, instead we will click on transform data because we can see there are some issue with data. So for cleaning and transformation purpose, we are going to load this data in Power Query Editor so that cleaning can be done in this data. Now looking at this data, we can see there are issues. We have null values. So we are going to remove any useless rows which is there in our data. So we can click here and this is going to ask us we want to keep rows or remove rows. We want to remove top row, so we can mention there is one row which is useless, we can remove that. And after that we need to promote our headers. We can see column 1, column 2, column 3, these headers are not promoted, so we need to promote these headers, and from ribbon we can promote these headers. Similarly, we need to check our other tables also if there is any issue. In this query also, headers are not promoted, so we need to promote these headers. Once we have promoted these headers, we have a date column and we might want to slice and dice our data based on time series. So we will be adding some columns using this column as a reference. So we are going to click on add column, and from there we can add a year. We can select our date column once again, and then we can add month if we want. It is going to add month number in a numeric form. We can again select our date field and we are going to add end of the month. If suppose we want to visualize our data based on what is happening by the end of the month, then we can use this field to visualize our data. And then finally we are going to add name of the month. Next step in continuation to this, if suppose you want to change these column names, column headers or table name, for example sales table, we want to remove this table from here, we can rename it from here. And then we want to even rename, this is not making any sense, maybe later we will be adding these rupees so as a currency. So from here we can remove this, and we can remove, instead of MSRP, we can replace this name with a better name, which is unit price. So this is the unit price of the product. Unit sold, these are the number of the product sold. And then revenue is in rupees, but we will be using currency separately, and we can remove this also from here. From all these we are going to remove, this is our cost of goods sold. We can replace all these additional names from here, because anyways we are going to use currency, so we don't need to use these currencies separately here. Once this is done, then we will see if everything is okay here. We can go to view tab. Within view tab we have few features which will help us knowing the column profiling, column distribution. So now we can see that everything seems okay. Now let's see what is the column quality. Now column quality, there is issue here in status column. We have 1% values which are empty. So those empty values, we need to deal with these null values. To deal with those null values, basically we can replace these null values. What are these null values? These null values, when we check with the data set and get to know more about the data, why we are getting these nulls. The reason for these null is that this issue has not been resolved, it's still yet to resolve. So customer was not paid anything, there was some issue, and this issue is still pending. So we need to replace these null values, else we will see blanks. So better we replace it. To replace these null values, we can replace it with issue yet to resolve. So we can type this, and this way we will be able to understand, user of your report will be able to understand that wherever there is this blank or null, it means that this issue is yet to resolve. So this is going to replace all the null value with issue yet to resolve. Once this is done, now we are ready to close and apply and load this data in Power BI desktop. There are many other features given which can be used to clean and transform our data. So this is what we wanted to clean here. We have done all the cleaning and transformation in our data, and we are going to load this data in Power BI. So we will click on close and apply. So once we will click on close and apply, within few seconds all the changes are going to be applied. All the transformational steps which we did, which we perform in Power Query Editor, are going to be applied, and we will see data will be loaded here along with all the columns and rows. All the names of the sheets which were given in our data are given. We have sales table, then product, and then dates. So this was a data source, and we have loaded this data in Power BI. Now using these three tables, we are going to visualize our data. First of all, we are going to add a text box that will tell us what exactly we want to do. We are going to do sales analysis, and let's type it, sales analysis and trend analysis. So on this page, we want to show this information which will help us seeing the trend and where is areas of improvement in terms of sales. So let's format this. We can use font size from this menu, make it bold, and once this is done, we can format this. To format our text box, click on format, and then we can change background color if we want. Let's use blue color, and let's add a visual border. We want to change this color, font color. It's not looking good, so black is not looking properly, so we are going to change this color from black to white. Once this is created, now we can start adding our visuals. So next visual which we want to add here is, we want to show daily revenue. So For adding that, we can drag our fields from data field. We are going to first of all calculate some explicit measures. If we will drag this, this is going to create implicit measures and this is going to be used. But instead of using these implicit measure, what is implicit measure? Implicit measure is when we drag a field which has all numeric values, then all the numbers are going to be aggregated. But we don't want to use these aggregations which is done by Power BI. Instead, we are going to create our own measures, and when we load our data, all the tables are loaded. Within data modeling tab, we are going to check if all the relationships are built or not. To see that, we can see that based on these two tables, product and sales table, based on common field, relationship has been built, but we need to build relationship between date and sales table. By just dragging and dropping, we can build this relationship. This is called data modeling. Building relationship between two tables based on common field is called as data modeling. Now we are ready to add some insights in our data. We are going to create our own explicit measures. For example, we want to calculate what is the total revenue, what is the total cost of goods sold, what is the total marketing expense, and then we don't have profit here. So before starting our visualization, we can see that some of these explicit calculations are not available, which we are going to use in our visualization. So let's add our first measure using new measure. We are going to add this calculation to calculate total sales, and for that we are going to rename our measure total revenue, and we will use a function sum of revenue. So this has calculated our explicit calculation, first calculation. This measure is by default added in first table, so we need to move home table for this. We will change home table. After selecting this measure, we just need to select the table name where we want to move this measure. Next, right click, new measure. We are going to calculate total cost of goods sold, and for that we are going to use COGS short form, total cost of goods sold, sum of cost of goods sold. And after that, we are going to add another calculation here. There is no profit column. So to add that insight, because we want to visualize our data based on profit also, so we are going to add a calculated column here. To add this calculated column, we can add a new column. We need to subtract revenue minus cost of goods sold, and that will give us our profit. So let's rename this profit. Profit can be calculated using revenue minus cost of goods sold. So this will give us total profit, and we have added this. We are going to even calculate our net profit. So net profit will consider even marketing expenses as well. So let's add a new column. In this new column, we are going to add net profit, and to do that we can subtract revenue minus cost of goods sold minus marketing. So this will calculate net profit for us. So this is the net profit. Now we can go back and we can add another measure, which is calculating total profit, and for this we can use another measure, total profit sum of profit column. We can directly calculate this also, but I'm calculating it this way in two steps. And then finally, we will be calculating our total net profit. And let's use function sum of net profit and hit enter. So we have added those insights which we wanted to use in our visualization. Now we are going to use these fields in our visualization. So first of all, we want to show trend over time, and to show that we can use year and total revenue. So let's create that visual. We can go to insert, and from there we can select a line chart. We are going to create a line chart to show trend daily sales. When we hover our mouse, it is going to give us daily sales. Now this can be useful for checking insights, seasonality, when sales is high or when sales is low. Now we can see that trend and pattern here clearly, when sales is high, in which all days, and in which all days sales is low. So next visual which we are going to add here is sales or revenue by category. Now we can add that, but before that we are going to format this visual little bit because it's not looking proper. So let's add some formatting here. We want to add visual border, shadow, and we can increase this. Title is very small, so let's increase title. Let's change this title, use a better one. You want to center line, let's center line this too. So we have formatted this. Now we can use this formatting for other visuals also. Next we are going to create a bar chart which is going to show us category wise sales. So we can drag revenue by category. Category is given in product table. So now we have this. Now we are going to add data labels for this visual. Next we are going to add our next visual which will show revenue by channel. So we are going to use pie chart for this. Now we can see most of our sales is generated through in-store. Online sales is also good, but most of the sales is coming from in-store offline mode. Next, we are going to show status. So, status of number of orders which were cancelled, disputed, or issue resolved, or issue yet to resolve, or the order has been already shipped. Now, we are going to count number of orders for this. So, let's create another measure which is going to count all the orders. So, number of orders we are going to count. We can use count function for this, and we need to provide order ID for this. So we have order ID. So let's use order ID and just hit enter. Now we are going to add number of orders we have, and we are going to show this by a table. So we can select that table, and now we can format this. To format this, we can use formatting pane. We are going to use some style presets. We can use this one, and then we can increase font size of values so that this will be clearly visible. We can also change for column headers. Let's increase font size better. Now we can see there are many products which are cancelling. There are issues which are resolved but disputed also. So we need to dig down further to take some decisions. We can check out what is happening at status level. So this completes our first page where we have sales and trend analysis, where we are trying to show what is the trend, and then total revenue by category, total revenue by channel, and what is the status for these orders. Now we want to slice and dice this data based on some criterias. For example, we want to see trend, we are checking trend. We want to see yearly basis. So we are going to add slicers. To add slicer, we can select blank visual, and we are going to add year. Now using this visual, we will be able to add our years. We can see if sales is how the trend was in a particular year. So the trend can be checked. Now we need to properly align these visuals which are already created so that we can make some space for our other visuals. We have done that. Now we can use these slicers to slice and dice and see sales in a particular range. We can add another slicer which is going to slice and dice our data. We will add category slicer. So let's select another slicer and we are going to add this, but we will change formatting for this. We want to show this as tile, and now we will add some more formatting where we are going to increase size of our values. Let's change font color so that it will be better visible, and we can change even this also. Once this is done, you can even change title size, you can change title font. This is done. Next, we are going to use a visual border for this. There is no visual border. To add visual border, once again, we need to choose it from here. We can use this search to find out where is this visual border. So we have added visual border, and now we can use same formatting for this also, but we definitely want to increase font size because font size is not clear. So let's increase font size so that these values are clearly visible. Once this is done, now both the slicers are ready to use to slice and dice our data. Let's just make some adjustment and we are ready. So this is our first page which shows sales analysis and trend analysis. This can be slice and dice based on year slicer and category slicer. We can select any of the category and we can see how the trend is, how the sales is generated for those categories, and how the trend is for a particular year or for few years. This can be changed. This trend can be checked from here. Now we have created our sales analysis page. Now we can rename our page so that we can easily recognize these pages. So this is our sales analysis. Next we are going to move to next page, and there we are going to create product analysis visuals. So for that, first of all, we are going to add our name. We will be creating product analysis visuals. So let's use product analysis, center align, increase font size, make it bold, and the way we formatted the other text box, we are going to use same background color, white font, and now our text box is ready. We are going to start adding our visuals. So first of all, we want to show correlation between marketing expense and revenue, and for that we can choose scatter plot. We can relate or correlate two variables using scatter plot. So this is a scatter plot, and we are going to add here first of all our total revenue, and then we want to show marketing expenses. So this is marketing expenses. Now we are going to add here our product names which is available in product table, and then these are our clear outliers. By looking at these we can see that these are our outliers. We want to see from which category they belongs to. Now these dots are too small. We can increase size of these dots by using some field. For example, we want by total profit bubble size should increase. So we can hover our mouse and see how the outliers, products and categories are performing. So this way we can find the relationship between revenue and marketing spend. Now we want to improve title for better clarity. We can go to more option, and from there we are going to change the title, and title is correlation between revenue and market expense, market expenses. So this is what we are trying to show using this visual. Next, we are going to show top performing products, top 10 product by profit. We have already calculated our profit. So we are going to add our next visual, which is going to show us top 10 products. So let's add product name and then total profit. And now we are going to use a filter pane. Using that, we will select top N, and here we will show top 10 product by total profit. So these are our most profitable product so far. Now we are going to compare, because we are trying to show here product analysis. So we will also check out how the cost breakdown is for each of these products and category. So this visual will show outliers. This visual will show top 10 products by total profit. And now we want to create a matrix. This matrix will show cost analysis and cost breakdown, where we are going to add both first category and then product name. We are going to create this matrix visual which is going to show category, and then we will see all the product name. Now we are going to add here all these fields. What is our total revenue? What is the total profit? What is the cost of goods sold? We have already calculated this. And we can also show, if we want, what is the net profit. Instead, what we want to show, we want to show marketing expenses. So this is the marketing expense. So now we have everything here. We need to format this table. We can go to more option, we can go to style preset, and from there we can select our style preset. So let's choose the best one which will look good according to our data. Now let's increase font size of our values also. We have added a matrix which is going to show us the cost analysis and cost breakdown, and for this visual we are going to add even a title also. So let's add a title. This is actually cost analysis and cost breakdown, where we are comparing a revenue with cost of goods sold and marketing expenses. Now let's increase font size. Let's change this style. We can improve the way this is going to look. So we have improved the visibility of our table, looking much better. Let's properly assign. So finally, we have created our profit analysis. We have created our product analysis page, which is showing the cost analysis and cost breakdown by category, and then we can go to next level, which is product name. Within automotive, these are the products, this is the total revenue generated, this is the total profit, this is the cost of goods sold, and then finally this is the marketing expense. Now through these different visuals, we are trying to add different insights here, and this completes our product analysis. So let's rename this sheet also. Now we are going to add root cause analysis, and for this first we will add a title which is root cause analysis. Now our title is ready. Next we are going to add here is what is causing low profit or high profit. For that we can choose a visual which is going to analyze or visualize low or high profit. We have a dedicated visual in Power BI, AI in BI, artificial intelligence in business intelligence. We can select decomposition tree, and this decomposition tree is going to give us low or high values. So we want a total profit to be analyzed by certain parameters. First parameter is channel. Next, we want this to be analyzed by year, in which year how we are performing, and then by category, and then by product name. So now we have added multiple parameters to visualize this data. We can click on this plus to see high value. This high value is going to show us in store and online. Now these values are too small, so we can format these values. Let's increase font size for these values, and we can also increase font size for category so that this will be clear. Now we can clearly see these fonts. We can next choose if we directly want to see year wise in store, profit, or directly we want to jump to category, or we can click on low or high value. Let's select high value, and now this is directly giving me category, but we are not interested in category. Instead we want by year, and then by category, and then by product name. Now we can choose to analyze this by a different year. Now you can see car battery was on top in 2020 to 2020. This was on top in terms of profit, most profitable products, and then 2019. So now this way we can check out, we can see even online sales also. So this is how online sales is. Why this year is not sorted? Because this is sorted according to descending order. Highest sales was in 2019, and then 2020, and then 2022, and then 2021. So this is actually sorted. We can remove this from middle also, and now we have root cause analysis. We can also use, let's use year as a slicer, because we want to slice and dice this visual by year, and we can choose years we want to see in 2020, 21, 22, or 2019. So we have added our years here. So from here, if we want, we can remove. If we want to keep, we can keep. So this way we created our root cause analysis, and that gives us insights about the what is responsible for low profit, what is responsible for high profit. We have added all our pages. Now we want to add some more slicers. For example, there is no slicer for product analysis. We want to see year-wise slicing and dicing of this data. So we can copy paste the previous slicer and we can paste it here. We can resize it and find a suitable space for this. We are going to add it here. Now if we will select any particular year from here, then this for the same year we want to see root cause analysis also. Now this is not sync 2020, and here it's 2021. If we will select 2022, both these should show same year. So to sync these slicers, we can go to view tab. From there we can click on sync slicers, and then we can sync whatever we want. We want to sync root cause and product analysis. That's it. We don't want to sync sales analysis. Now if we will select 2021, from root cause analysis we can go to product analysis. Same year is being selected, 2020, same year is being selected. So this way we can be at sync, and all these visuals will show same year's data. So now we are going to add bookmarks for easy navigation. To add bookmarks, we want to create a home page, and then we want to save these so that whatever slicers has been applied, those can be reset, and for easy navigation we can easily move to these different pages. So let's add bookmarks for easy navigation. Let's clear all the filters, and we are going to save this bookmark, rename this product analysis, and then we will go to sales analysis page. We are going to add another bookmark. This is sales analysis page, and we are going to add another. This one is root cause. So after clearing all the filters, we can save name. This is root cause analysis. We have saved all these bookmarks. Now we are going to add our home page, and then we are going to add buttons. So let's create another page where we are going to add these buttons. This is going to be our home page. We can shift this in the very beginning. And now we are going to add buttons for easy navigation so that we can easily move to our home page. We can go to our home page. We can make some space for our button. So we can go to insert. From there we can insert button. We are going to select blank button because we are going to add a name here which will help us in easy navigation. So we can go to button style. From there we can add text. We have formatted our button. Now we can copy paste this, Control C, and we are going to paste it here. We will make some space for this button. We want to open our home page. Once we will click here, we are going to copy this and we are going to paste this on even root cause analysis page also. We can copy this, and here we are going to create 3 buttons. Copy paste will work, or this can be recreated. So when we click here, this should open sales analysis page. Let's rename this sales analysis, and we can increase font size. Directly we can type in here 35. Let's copy paste this. Product analysis page, and let's copy paste, Control C, Control V. This should open root cause analysis. We have added our all buttons. Now we are going to use these buttons for easy navigation. So we are going to save this bookmark also. This is not saved till now, so we have to save this bookmark. Now let's go to view, and then from there we are going to add another bookmark which is our home page. Now we need to assign actions to these buttons. So when I click here, this should open. This is a bookmark, and we want to land sales analysis page. When we click here, product analysis, assign action, we can click on bookmarks, and then we're going to choose product analysis, and then finally this is our bookmark, and we want to open root cause analysis. Now we can navigate through these buttons. We can select. Once again, we need to assign actions even to these buttons which are available on all these pages. Home page, this should open home page. There is another button on product analysis page. Here also bookmark, and then we are going to assign action. Finally the last one, assign action. This is a bookmark, and this should open home page. Now we can press control. When we are hovering mouse, this is giving instruction. Control, click here. So this is our sales and trend analysis page. This is our product analysis page, and this will give us root cause analysis for total profit. Once we've created a report, the most important task is to check trends and patterns in the data, and that will help us in taking some well informed decision based on the historical data. Now we are going to open our sales analysis page where we are going to check how the revenue is performing, how the sales is moving. So now we can see on few dates revenue is very high and sometimes sales is low. So we can visualize and analyze the pattern, and then we can take decisions based on when sales is low, is something can be done on those particular days in a year when sales is low. And after that we are trying to explore the distribution of sales across the different categories, mostly automotive if contributing in terms of total overall revenue, and then least revenue is generated by books and clothing, and also beauty and health. So here some areas of improvement we try to visualize, and now we can analyze that most of our revenue is generated by in store. We're getting less revenue from online, so we have areas of improvement here, and this can be improved. Now we can monitor the status of orders and analyze the fulfillment efficiency. Looking at this table, we can identify the bottlenecks. We can dig down further and know more about this status and the number of orders which are cancelled, or there is a dispute or issues which needs to be resolved yet. This can have a negative impact on our business. So we can select a particular category and then slice and dice our data to see what is happening in a particular category, in which all category the maximum number of orders were cancelled. So, this kind of insights can be generated using slicing and dicing. We can also use the slicer to know during a particular time period what happened, during a particular season what happened. So, we have year slicer, and using this year slicer, we can dig down further. Now, we can move to product analysis. Here we try to gather some product insights. We try to identify the topmost profitable product. So these are our top 10 product in terms of profit, and then we analyze the performance of specific categories, and then we also added product name. This cost analysis and cost breakdown is giving us further evaluation about the total revenue, total profit, and we are trying to know the total cost of goods sold and how the market expenses distributed. So this breakdown of marketing expenses is to assess the impact of marketing expenses on total revenue. And then finally, we can slice and dice by year. By adding this year slicer, we can dig down further what is happening on each particular year, and then we can finally move to root cause analysis. This visual is giving us a true picture about what is happening and where in a particular year, or we can also change these parameters at any point of time, and then we can see what is happening, what is responsible for low sales or high sales or low profit. Right now we have selected profit, so we are trying to visualize and analyze our profit. So we are seeing overall profitability assessment we are trying to do. We are doing this assessment based on channel. In-store channel is most profitable for us. Category wise, automotive is most profitable. Product name, these products, headlight products are most profitable. Now, if we will check by each year, then we can see overall we are performing. So, this way, this slicing and dicing of data by year is helpful, knowing what went wrong or areas of improvement and areas of opportunities. So, this report tells us all those reasons which we were figuring out to make well informed decisions for our business. Now, we can recommend based on this report, we can recommend our suggestions, we can recommend what can be done to improve revenue and to improve profitability of overall business. We want to add more information in the page, but we don't have enough space. If we don't have enough space, then we can customize some of the visuals. For example, we have scope for changing this slicer setting. Instead of using tile, we can use a drop down, because we want to use this space for adding individual values like total profit, total sales. And for that, we are going to select our next visual. We are going to add our new card, which will add our single values like total sales and total profit. Let's resize this visual, and once it is resized, then we can place it here. Now we are going to add our total revenue, then we will add here total profit and total cost of goods sold. We can add even total number of orders as well. So now we can see that these dots, and this is because font size is too big. So let's reduce font size. For that, we can go to call out value. From there we can use a size of 18, which is good enough, and even we can use 20, which is good enough here. Now we are going to center align these values. We will change header. We are going to change header color because it's not clearly visible. So let's make it color blue. Let's make it bold, and we can add some more formattings so that it'll look good better. Now we are going to change shape of our card, rounded rectangle looking better. We can resize this little bit and then we can go to properties. From there we can add more options if we want, but this is good enough. So now we are going to resize this so that this entire information can accommodate and this can be seen. Let's resize this a little bit, looking better. Once this is done, we are going to go to next page, which is product analysis, where we are going to add more information. For example, we want to add some narratives which are self-explanatory and which will add more insights about our page. So let's go to product analysis page, and here we are going to add more insights. To add more insights, let's make some more space. We don't have enough space, so let's resize this, and we are going to use AI feature which is given in visuals. We are going to use AI in BI, means we are going to use these smart narratives which are going to be created within few seconds, and based on the data points used in this current page, these are created. These are fully dynamic and interactive. If we will click here, this first line starts with air filter, but the moment we click somewhere, these are going to be customized. Now it is showing something related to headlight, so these are going to be changed when we will click anywhere, car battery, and now it will show us this narratives based on what is being selected, headlight, air filters. And if no narratives based on the data points available on this current page, we can even customize this text as well. We want to make it bold, we want to uh, change the color of font, those customizations can be done. For example, let's say we want to change font size, and for that we can choose our font size. Now this is looking better, much more readable. We can scroll down and we can change font for this also. We are using 10.5 and much better. We can even edit this too. If we want to remove some points, those points can be removed. So this will add value by adding more insights. Now we don't have to waste our time typing this. Instead, this fully interactive individual AI visual can be used, which is smart narratives. Now, next we are going to make our visuals more insightful by adding more details. For example, if we hover our mouse here, we want to compare some more details. Right now, this bar is showing total revenue and total profit, and this is done by adding this information on tooltip. So if we will remove this tooltip, we will see only revenue, but if we will add some additional information here, it is going to show us that as a tooltip. So now we can see revenue and total profit, but this is a simple tooltip. We can customize this tooltip. We can add a separate page which is going to show us a individual visual on hovering our mouse. Now when we hover our mouse, it is showing simple status and that cancelled or issue or disputed status, but right now it is not showing any customization or any tooltip. Let's add a tooltip page. Let's rename this tooltip. Now let's add a tooltip page. For that we need to change the style. To change the style, we are going to first of all change the page setting, and type should be tooltip. This is going to be much more smaller than usual page, and information should be accommodated here in a small page. Now we are going to add here information, our data, and then data is going to be, let's say we want to create a bar chart and we want to include category wise number of orders, And when we hover our mouse, this is going to add more detailing on our visual. So let's add data labels also. We can add data labels from here. This is created. Now we need to add some customization needs to be done, and for that we need to go to that page. Right now when we hover our mouse, nothing is happening, so we need to add this. Let's just select this, more options, and from there we can go to properties, tooltips, and then we need to select that tooltip page. And once it is done, now when we hover our mouse, that tooltip page will show that how many number of products got cancelled each category wise. So highest number of products shipped from automotive. If we talk about cancel, then cancellations are also, this is cancel. And when I hover my mouse on cancel, it is showing highest number of products were cancelled from automotive, and then sports issues were also there in automotive industry, and then disputed, and then finally issues that needs to be resolved. So this dynamic tooltip will change the moment we will hover our mouse. So similar dynamic tooltip can be created whenever it is required. So this separate page is created, which has a smaller size, and we just need to add this from format pane, so that when we hover our mouse it should be visible. So that's how we can create these customized tooltip to add more details in our visual.